Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Earth Day. I hope you all having a wonderful Sunday. It's really beautiful here in New York. Sun is out. So I wanted to do a shout out video, a recognition video to Black actresses of the 1920s. Okay, per Google. So because I am an actress, it only makes sense that my curiosity honestly led me to wanting to do a shout out video on actresses from the 20s, since they have led the foundation for myself and countless other actors, prominent actresses, those who are not prominent like myself, but who are just not grinding, but working as actresses in theater, and indie film, and doing little television bits or major television things, whatever level you are as an actress, whether it be on stage or on camera. These Black actresses, because most of them did theater, did vaudeville, right? Did theater, did stage work and film work, and then gradually television work. So rest in peace to them, and respect to their legacy, and for them laying the foundation for all of us as Black actresses to have opportunities, and a myriad of opportunities on stage and on camera, whether it be television, film, or even now out in these internet streets, right? So these are some of the women that Google has presented to me and that I've done my own research on. I'm so grateful because in my research, I discovered that, as you all probably know, a great number of them, when they were in Hollywood studio produced films, they were relegated to portray domestic workers, right? Working for someone Caucasian. Now, as you can see, my favorite film of all time, Claudine, is behind me, starring the great late Diahann Carroll and the great James Earl Jones and the other talented cast, right? Diahann Carroll was a domestic in Claudine. However, the story was not about her being a domestic to a white woman, right? A Caucasian woman, whatever. It was about her humanity. It was about her children. It was about her desiring a marriage, a man who loved her and loved her children and respected her and her children, right? That's what the movie is about their complex humanity. Diane's complex humanity as a woman, as a Black woman in Harlem, and James Earl Jones' complex humanity and her children, right? And his children, particularly her children, her 6 children. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, she's playing a domestic. No, it's not about that. It's about in here. And so Claudine is an exception because the writers didn't focus on, it's about this white woman's life who she's catering to or who she's working for as a domestic. No, it's about her life. Whereas the contrast is in the films in the 20s and the 30s and early 40s, it was about the Caucasian woman or the man that they were working for as domestics. It was about their life, right? So that is the difference. So we didn't get a chance to know who they were, what their strengths and weaknesses were, what made them cry, what made them love, who their family were. The narratives of the 20s and 30s and 40s, outside of Oscar Micheaux and Spencer Williams and Frank Nerengeti, outside of Black written narratives by Black people, when they were domestics, it was about the Caucasians. It wasn't about their complex humanity, their love and joy. I just wanted to distinguish that, right? So regardless, these actresses who were not maids in real life portrayed maids, and they were given material in these narratives and they made it work. And I'm sure they tried to bring some kind of dignity and complexity of humanity as much as they can to what was the limited character, the limited dialogue, and the limited humanity that was written on the page. They brought as much as they probably could as actresses, under this restraining, directing, and script, right? So I have to definitely recognize that sometimes I don't know, sometimes if I have an audition or auditions, I'm not thinking the kind of characters, I'm not even thinking like, oh, wow, this opportunity was they didn't have this kind of these kind of varied roles, complicated roles written for them in non-Black films, right? I don't know if there were many Black filmmakers in the 20s. I know there was Oscar Micheaux was one of the many pioneers of Black cinema, independent cinema in the 20s. Spencer Williams, again, the first produced short Black-centered movie was out of Chicago, out of my city. I'm sure there were other Black filmmakers in the 20s and the 30s, but Oscar Micheaux was the most prominent. And I think he was one of the one who was the first feature film producer who was Black in North America. So I have a list here. And so Iris Hall was the lead actress, the lead character in Oscar Micheaux's The Unconquered, I believe. Evelyn Prier was in Oscar Micheaux's, starring in Oscar Micheaux's Within Our Gates. So right here, let's talk about this. Oscar Micheaux wrote 2 films, to my knowledge, where a woman was the lead character. 2 in the 20s. So respect to Oscar Micheaux for writing a story and adapting his own novels to films and other people's novels to films where a Black woman is the lead, right? In the 20s. So shout out to him. Shout out to those actresses for bringing those characters to life, bringing as much complexity of humanity as they could, right? As they chose to. So respect to them. So that's Evelyn Prier, again, in Within Our Gates by Oscar Micheaux. Anita Thompson was in The Blood of Jesus. This is the 20s through the 40s. Lucia Lynn Moses was in A Scar of Shame. That was released in 1929. Freddie Washington was a wonderful actress and dancer. She was also in, I think, the first Imitation of Life. I really thought the woman was Caucasian, but it turns out, I guess she's biracial, or maybe one of her grandparents was either Caucasian or biracial. Boom. So that's some of the ladies here, Black actresses of the 20s through the 40s. And let's see, one second. Sorry. Should have had it already up here, right? And then, according to Google, the great Josephine Baker, mostly a comedic actress. And Nina Mae McKinney, I saw her in a film that was released in 1929. I forget the name, forgive me. Nina Mae McKinney. Hattie McDaniel, right? Respect to her. Again, another Black actress who was a singer, very talented, was again offered roles where she was a domestic, but servicing a Caucasian employer, right? It wasn't about her life. Fine. Freddie Washington, as I said, Evelyn Prier, they brought up Evelyn Prier, Teresa Harris, don't recognize her name, Ethel Moses, Daisy Buford. I'm sure there are countless others that Google did not represent. So anyway, fellow actresses out there, Black actresses in particular, and just actresses, please get an opportunity, Google these actresses who have paved the way for Black actresses. And I'm gonna say Black men too, because they are part of the Black community. So they paved the way for all of us who are currently have opportunities to act on stage or on camera. And I'm really grateful. So I'm going to do more digging about their from their body of work. And yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. So let's always, if we can, pay homage to those who laid the foundation for us to have these options. I'm very grateful, and I'm glad my curiosity led me to the research. You guys have a great Sunday. And if I missed any actresses, Black actresses from the 20s, please include them below this video, okay? So you can enlighten me as well. Thank you. Peace. Chinese.